Hi, everybody. This is Caroline Sotheby, and welcome to Up, Down, and Around Town. Hope you had a nice holiday weekend. Now we're back to business, and right now we're going to go to sports business. Just a little bit something that you probably don't get a chance to see because local sports hasn't been. They're still taking a little vacation till next week. But you can always get Bears Den and get some football there. But we're going to go to our coach, who's going to tell us a little bit about the soccer. Right, Coach?
That's right.
How long have you been a coach here at Wyandotte?
Let's see. I think this is my 7th year.
7th year?
I started the middle school program at Wilson. And then a year after that, I got asked to jump on with the boys as an assistant coach for the varsity team. And the last 2 years, I've actually also been doing the boys and the JV girls as well.
Okay. You have enough kids interested that you can have both varsity and JV.
Some years we're trying to grab kids here and there, but this year we had almost 38 kids come out, which is more than enough for both teams.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, for some people in the viewing audience, they might not know. You have seasons, though. Right now, this is the boys' season, and then come spring, it's girls, right?
Yep. So the boys officially starts August 12th and runs until about the end of October, early November, depending on how far you make it in the playoffs. And then the girls officially starts in March and goes until June.
Okay. So right now, most of your varsity kids are they juniors and seniors, or?
We have about 22 kids that we kept on the varsity team this year. 13 of them, I think, are seniors. And most of those have played all the way from freshman year all the way up. And then we had a couple juniors and sophomores, and we have 3 freshmen that are
Really?
that are earning some playing time. They're making it really hard for us to say no to them.
Really? No kidding.
Yes.
So they're prospective players in
Oh yeah, we're
another year.
excited. They're making the future exciting.
Okay. For somebody that said, okay, we're used to playing and watching football. I was watching professional soccer last week. I don't know who the teams were, but I know they were women. And I kept on watching. It was the clock was just running all the way through. And all you saw them go back and forth. And I'm thinking, my God, you got to have a lot of water on the side or something, because in the heat and that can take a lot out of you.
Yeah, we make sure that the kids get water breaks, and our trainer Darren, he's really good about making sure that the kids have water, and the kids are he talks to the kids about nutrition and what to eat and what to do before a game, what to do after a game to make sure that their bodies are in tip-top shape, ready for game day.
Okay, and people don't pay attention to that. They just figure, oh well, you're just giving some more information, but it's essential for their system to be able to play.
Yeah, so I said that the season officially started in August. The boys have actually been weightlifting since about February. They were in the gym weightlifting, and then they got together and they played together without the coaches all winter long in different leagues that they signed up for.
Oh, really?
Which really has helped boost their skill and boost the program.
Okay, now that's like a traveling league, so to speak, when they go.
Yep, they signed up through a program in Taylor, and then they travel to different parts of the state, and they play other teams around there.
Okay, do you have a lot of participation and help from, say, the parents?
We do. I mean, on the boys' side, our parents are. We can't say enough about them. They do so much for us, from fundraising to concession stands, and making sure the boys have food and stuff on game days or on Sometimes we have tournament days. Our parents do so much for us.
Okay. Now, if there's some kid who's like in middle school right now and say, I don't know if that be my sport, what's the best way to try it and find out?
Yep, there are programs all over that they can try. First and foremost, Wilson Middle School has a team that tryouts are actually September 4th and 5th. And they are, depending on how many people we come out, we may have two teams. We're still kind of playing with some things to see what works out for us. And then AYSO has a league in Wyandotte. There's leagues in Taylor, Groseal, and all around that they can, if they just search on Google, they can look for them.
What does AYSO actually stand for?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot, huh? It's American Youth Soccer Organization.
Okay.
I think.
You did it. Well, I wasn't quite sure because I talked to Dawn, who's been with that group for quite some time, apparently. And that's why when I talked to her yesterday, I said, how does it feel? I mean, you had your son in that group. You were trying to teach him. Now he's in a high school. Do you feel like you're sitting in the bleachers and want to say something? Or
Dawn's great. She's one of our parent volunteers that does a lot for us. She actually single-handedly put together our fundraising program, and we're excited to see what that brings us. Yeah, there are a handful of boys that she coached when they were little with AYSO, and I still refer to my students that I have in the classroom, my students all the way up, and she still refers to her kids that she coached as her kids. You know, and I think she will always do that forever, even when they're my age and beyond.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, talk about being a coach. My husband was coach too, and it was many years after some father would come with a little kid and say, oh, this was my coach. It's, you know, you're talking, that's affiliation. You get to know them as the one-in-one.
Yeah,
And
that's
so-
what I really like. I teach sixth grade at Wilson, and a lot of these kids that I'm coaching at Roosevelt I had in class, and it's really neat to see that how much they've grown and how much they matured, and you know, the young adults that they are becoming.
All right. My question is, what's the most important two things for a soccer player to be able to do?
Well, you got to be in shape, and you got to be able to see the field with and without the ball. So if you have the ball, you got to know what you're doing with the ball, and if you don't have the ball, you got to know where can I go to maybe help my teammate who has the ball.
So do you make plays, or do you just rely on the kids to sort of grab it on their
Well,
own?
we run through scenarios in practice. We don't really have set plays like football.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes on our corner kicks or our free kicks, we'll have a play that we'll run. But usually it's kind of, we try to build up and we try to, you know, maybe put the ball on the outside and then cross the ball on the inside and try to find somebody for a goal. And that's really what we talk to them about is, you know, keep your heads up, try to play the ball away from the other defenders, and as soon as we get down to the scoring area, you know, try to find a teammate to pass the ball to and get the ball in.
So it's more or less you practice and you're familiar with what your teammates are going to be doing. So it's the idea of just knowing basically where you're going to be with them.
Yes, how they're functioning together as 11 of them on the field.
Okay. Do we have a running clock and how many minutes?
So at the high school varsity level, they go 40-minute halves.
Okay.
So in the pros, they do 45-minute halves. And essentially, we do have a little bit of a running clock. On the high school level, they'll stop the game for injuries, for major offenses and penalties. And then with the heat that we've had, they've actually stopped it a couple times recently for water breaks.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
Yeah, especially in the hot summer
Yep. Oh, yeah.
days. Yeah, you need something. Okay, what else? Can you tell us some stories about the soccer?
Well, this is the 10th year that they've had a boys program. And I've been lucky enough to be around for about 7 of them, and I've known all of the coaches. And it just brings a sense of pride to see all of the hard work that the boys put in behind the scenes. I can remember a couple years ago, we would get down in a game 1-0, 2-0, and shoulders would be slumped. they would kind of be defeated. And now, they have this fighting attitude that they're going to go out there and they should win every game. And when they get behind a little bit, it's not over. They're going to fight back. And it's evident. You can see we play a lot of close games, a lot of close scores. And we fight for every goal and we fight for everything that we have.
Do you have any specialties on the field over there, or?
Well, we have our leading goal scorer, Caden Harris. I don't know how many he's had this year, but he led us last year and he led us this year. He's a junior. We get a real nice goalie. He's a sophomore. We got a lot of seniors inside and outside, Aiden Jeffries and Gabe Gibbons, that help us bring the ball up the field. Ben Zapensky is in the middle of our defense, and we got some twins, the Garcia
Really?
twins. Yep, Dylan and Austin, and they put in a lot of hard work. They were not selected captains last year or at the end of last year, but because they worked so hard, we added them to our captain list. So we have 4 captains: Aiden Jeffries, Ben Zapensky, and then the 2 Garcia boys that we talked about.
All right. So that's varsity.
Yep.
What about JVs now?
So JV, this year we changed coaching roles, and Coach Al Shammy and Coach Juan Cruz have taken over. Al was the middle school coach, and Juan was our goalie coach. He actually was on my first middle school team that I had. And
Really?
he worked his way up, and we brought him on as a coach. We just love him so much. He's a hard worker, he's smart, and he helps the boys out tremendously. And we're looking for them to have the best JV season that Wyandotte has ever had. With the freshmen that I mentioned earlier, we have a lot more freshmen on JV and some sophomores and juniors that we're looking to take our JV team to the next level, and they're going to compete in every game that they play, hopefully win.
Okay. You start in the first part of August. Well, August 12th is the official date, right?
Yeah,
So,
this year, yes.
Michigan High's going to.
Yep.
Okay. Do you think you have a chance of going into the playoffs or whatever?
Well, each team does make the playoffs. Last year, Wyandotte actually the boys won their first district game in the history of Wyandotte boys soccer. So we're looking to build on that this year and go a little bit farther, see how far we can go.
Okay. All right. So right now, you're pretty well satisfied. You have a comfortable team. They're not going to lose just to lose. They're going to go out there and try their best. And you have volunteers and parents there. You mentioned something about a money-raising thing.
Oh, a fundraiser?
Yeah, I saw something that was put on Facebook yesterday by Dawn. It's something about getting a ticket for, $10 and...
Dawn Howard went around. She had the kids go around to all the businesses in Wyandotte, and she created a discount card. There's different discounts at different businesses depending on where you go, but they're all local Wyandotte restaurants that are on the card. So it really means a lot to us because we're kind of supporting the community, and if they go to the Wyandotte Bears Soccer Facebook page, they can get more information about how to get a card. And they're $10, and all of that money that we raise from that fundraiser goes back into the soccer program, whether that's for purchasing equipment or celebrating our seniors or doing some, getting food for the kids for tournaments and stuff like that.
Okay. So they can get in touch with maybe a player or two or with Dawn or what?
Or the
like you said?
Facebook page, yes.
And a Facebook page.
Yep.
All right. Outside of now being a teacher and doing soccer, do you participate in some other form of sport?
Well, I actually play soccer myself. My high school friends and I have been playing in the league for about 15 years. And then I have 2 kids that they play baseball and softball and gymnastics and flag football, and so I'm busy with them a lot of the time as well.
Well, that's good.
Yes.
You don't sit around. You probably come home and go, come on.
Yeah, it's all on the go, always something to do.
Okay. Do you have anything special in mind, say, in the next month? I mean...
Yeah, coming up, I don't have the dates offhand, but we do have senior night. We also have a youth soccer night where we're going to get some little kids out there, and they're gonna go out with our varsity players and play a game at halftime.
Really?
And we're
Yeah.
we're gonna celebrate them as well.
Okay. So that's something that initiates the younger ones into coming
Oh, yeah.
onto the field and
Oh, yeah.
feeling it.
Yep, and every year we do have a youth soccer camp that we run the week after school gets out. And we run that for 3 nights. It's about $25, and it's for kids that are from 2nd grade all the way up until 8th grade. And we've been running that for about 4 or 5 years.
Okay. All right. So you're busy, and I know I was lucky to get you to come here because he said, "What time? What time? What time?" So I do appreciate you coming here. For somebody that would like to maybe help or join, how do they get in touch?
Well, they can email me, Kanekoj, Kanekoj, at wy.k12.mi.us, or they can search for the Wyandotte Bears Facebook page and send us a message through there.
Okay. One thing, now that I looked at some of the scores, what's your best teams in the
The
group
Downriver
right
League.
now? Yeah.
Usually Etzel Ford and Woodhaven are the top teams in the league. But Allen Park and Trenton, and, you can't overlook anybody. You got to play them. You got to show up, and you got to fight hard for every win that you have in the Downriver League.
And you did have a classic, though.
Yeah, we had a tournament August 24th. We finished. I believe what did we finish? 1-1-1 or?
Well,
2-1.
you
Yeah.
lost to Airport first, 3-0.
Then we won, and
Then
then
you
we
won
tied.
2-0 to Western Tecumseh.
Yep.
And then you even scored with that Dearborn Tech Academy 1-1.
Yeah, that's a long day for the boys, but they have fun in the tournament. They fought hard. Unfortunately, we lost to the team that won it in the first game. But I think we're getting them again later in the season, so we're going to try to
get
try to
even?
get a little revenge. Yeah.
Okay. All right. For somebody now that's sitting there and saying, okay, what days or nights do you usually play, where, and what time?
Well, you can always find the schedule on MHSAA, but typically we play either Monday nights or Wednesday nights. And home or away, it just changes on the game. We don't. I believe our next home game is next Wednesday, but I'd have to double check the schedule on that.
And
one.
it's at Roseville Field.
It's at Roosevelt High School field. Yes.
Okay. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
And,
Thank you for having me.
keep us in touch.
I will.
And keep us telling who's getting those goals and who's doing all the fancy work up and down the field.
All right.
And, that's the reason I asked, because I saw, all this activity back and forth. And that game, the first goal was actually scored 20 minutes
yeah?
into the game. And then another one in 10 minutes after that. So that was a low-scoring game for something
They're
like that.
typically pretty low scoring, but there's a lot of action. It's, back and forth, fighting for the ball. It's exciting.
I think the worst part is trying to oversee, like you said, trying to see where the activity is going and where the ball is at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Anyway, thank you for coming, and keep in touch. Okay?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Okay. And for some of you that don't know, the Sunday Social is still going on. It was this past Sunday too. If you have a good band there, you usually have a nice crowd. This time they did. And there's still activities for the kids, and they also do a lot of the painting that Andy manages to have a table set up for. So I know a lot of people are busy, and I appreciate all of you for listening. We'll see you next time on Up, Down, and Around Town. Okay? Bye-bye now.